Kryptonite Podcast. I am Mark Storrs, and with me as always is
Chris.
And
Rob Morphy.
thank you all so very much for joining us for our 100th episode.
The glory and the power, behold.
Thank you all to all of our listeners out there. We appreciate the support, the interest in the overall interaction you guys have had with the show. We appreciate all of our listeners.
100.
Yeah,
like
100.
It feels like we just started the show. I feel like we just did Frogmen. I don't know, 6-7 months ago.
Yeah, no, we officially hit 100. I mean, I think canonically speaking, like if you want to go into like EU, we're well over 100, considering our Patreon episodes.
Yeah,
but
sure. Well,
canonically
considering
speaking,
Patreon fuck ups, tech snafus.
Yeah, but you know,
but still,
in pod canon, we're at 100. So
pod canon.
Yeah, so thank you all so very much. Patreon.com/Kryptonite Podcast. Thank you all to support us over there. If you're interested, check it out. $1 get you a shout out. $5 you get a shout out and some bonus episodes.
It's fun and filthy.
I think we're up to like 11 episodes over there so far.
Maybe.
And I've had some people say, "Hey man, I can't really afford the $5 a month to do it, but if y'all want a little bit of a life hack with Patreon, you can pay the $5. You can listen to the episodes, and then you can cut your $5 and you can come back later."
So for $5, you get the 11 episodes quick, fast, and then you move on.
And then wait until you get another $5 and then come back.
Because we're not here to strip mine you.
No,
you do what you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all subsistence living, except for Johnny Career over here, but still.
Yeah, we haven't potted in a couple of weeks, and I've just been playing my Mortal Kombat cabinet.
Yeah, you and your kid.
Sucking down White
all right,
Claws.
If we're just going to do a recap, because we technically have not potted together in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Due to illness, camping, mayhem, whatnot.
Yep.
So we were talking about thank yous to Patreon people. I managed to hit a used bookstore, and I got scads of resources.
Awesome.
I'm literally balls deep in books now. I've got, I think, 12 bookshelves now, but my office, you guys probably checked it out before. I have to make a trail to my desk from the stacks of fucking books.
Nice.
So I want to thank the Patreon peeps because A, I fucking love to read, and B, the resources are just exponential. The internet's great. We're all fond of it.
Yeah.
But it's the classic literature. I don't even call it literature. The classic researchers that fucking really do the job that I love.
Yeah, and actually, I get a lot of emails from people asking like where you get your stories and like the research from. And
I'm always glad to turn people on.
I tell people all the time, a lot of it's in paperbacks.
Oh yeah.
So you're not gonna be able to find it on the internet.
I read my paperback into my tablet, then I fucking email it to my desk where I have Word.
Oh my God.
And then I do the research that I do on the internet on top of other books, and then I compile it all together and write the article. That's how I do most of these.
We gotta streamline your process, man.
No, dude, that's analog, and I love it.
It is your version of analog.
Shit, yeah, it really is. I live analog. I live analog, but accidentally digital.
That's pretty great. That's funny. All right, so this week we were talking about the Van Meter Visitor. This has been requested quite a bit.
It's a stone classic.
This is a classic.
It
People
is one of
the
weirdest. I mean, we've used the phrase batshit crazy more than once, like the Casablanca fucking entities, and certainly the El Zeta incident is just
that's
nuts.
bonkers.
Yeah.
This is one of those that's just, you think it should be a standard this or that, but it is not. It is fucking weird. I love it.
All right, let's get started with, at the dawn of the 20th century, the tiny town of Van Meter, Iowa became the epicenter of a series of terrifying episodes with one of the oddest entities ever chronicled. An utterly bizarre bioluminescent beast that drove the local populace into a state of sheer panic.
Which is, I think, the maximum panic.
Yeah.
Like that's a band, right?
Yeah.
Sheer Panic is a band.
I know.
It's a punk rock band. It totally
Sheer
is.
Terror.
Sheer Terror?
Sheer Terror is a band.
Is that a metal
band? Hardcore band.
All right, maybe I'm wrong. But either way, there are levels of panic. There's panic. There's pandemonium.
All right.
But sheer panic is the max. This small town got fucked up by this thing.
Van Meter, Iowa.
Van Meter, Iowa.
All right, Robert. Let's know.
Let's do this. All right. First off, though, I'm going to make a little disclaimer. I know there's a book, and I wrote down the author's names here. The Van Meter Visitor by Chad Lewis, Noah Voss, and Kevin Lee Nelson. But as aforementioned, I am steeped in books. I haven't read this. I researched the fuck out of this. Okay. I have the book. I haven't read the book. Okay. We're doing this. And when I read the book, if I find that I've missed something key to tell you guys and our listeners, we will do an addendum.
Okay, the internet will definitely tell us.
Oh, sure.
It's okay, which is fine.
But I mean, you know me. I don't skimp on research.
No.
I fucking tackled this shit hard.
Totally. All right, cool.
And this is for you, Mark. Nestled along the banks of the Raccoon River, and renowned by baseball fans as being the home of Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller, Van Meter is a tiny central Iowa township located not far from Des Moines in Dallas County.
The home of the Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller.
The one and only. Guess where the museum for one Mr. Bob Feller is?
Where is that?
Fucking Van Meter,
No
Iowa.
shit, really?
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought.
Do you think he's in the Coopertown Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
All right,
because that's
just
the
making sure.
only fucking baseball Hall of Fame
There
there
could be a
is.
second one. Stop.
All right, you're right. He's in the Tertiary Hall of Fame somewhere in West Wisconsin. It's good.
It's
good.
It's in Trumansburg.
They're troopers that go there. Okay. Over the decades, the town's population has consisted of about 1,000 citizens. But for a 5-day period in the early 1900s, the population rose just a fraction. And for those who bore witness to their new inhuman neighbor, their lives would never be the same again. At approximately 1 a.m. in the wee hours of Monday, September 28th, 1903, so we're going back, the dawn of the 20th century, literally, like we said, an implements dealer, and I do not know what that is.
What's an
That's what the
implement?
newspaper clipping said. An implements dealer, that fucking threw me for a loop. Maybe
What are
farm
you
gear?
implementing?
I'm assuming farm gear. I mean,
Or not. Or maybe factory parts?
It could be
maybe
anything.
Like a
It could be
compass,
anything.
maybe. Can you tell us compasses? A compass dealer?
How often do any of us
Implements?
use the goddamn word implement?
That's what I mean. It's really
I mean,
vague.
if I'm going to implement something, yes. Like I'm
Yeah,
going
well,
to
that's like
implement
going
this.
forth with something.
Yeah.
But, all right. So,
Anyway.
needless to say, an implements dealer by the name of U.G. Griffith, but I found out his name was actually Yulee. This
Yulee?
was the time when
Okay.
motherfuckers always had 2 initials and a last name.
Yeah.
Like, it's frustrating. Like, that was the 1800s way. It was the early, 1900s way. All right. So, U.G. Griffith was returning to the picturesque Midwestern town he called home to be confronted by an alarming sight. While the streets lay barren with most of the good folks of Van Meter getting some shut-eye for another bountiful day of work, something was afoot on one of the business rooftops on the main thoroughfare at the center of town. Griffith paused to take note of what he at first assumed was an electric searchlight blazing on the roof of the Maher and Griggs store. Let's enjoy that name for a second.
Maher
and
and
Griggs.
Griggs. They probably sell like some nice, dungarees there.
Oh, yeah,
boots.
if you're going to get fucking Carhartt or Dungarees, you're going to go to Maher and Griggs.
1903 dungarees. Shit, yeah,
Absolutely.
comfortable.
The businessman soon decided that it was probably not a searchlight, but a lantern bearing Brigand poised near the corner of one of the Midtown's taller edifices.
Bearing Brigand.
Brigand. You know Brigand. Outlaw.
Help.
Scofflaw. Criminal.
Okay.
Brigand. I mean, I know they use it in pirate time. Come on, you guys knew that.
I heard of the bridge.
Shush. All right. Unsure of what to do next, the businessman was shocked when the light was suddenly extinguished, only to reappear a split second later on another roof across the way.
No.
Griffith was perplexed. There was no way a human being could move at that speed or make a jump of that distance. Some reports say he saw a dark form make the death-defying leap, while other accounts say that all he was able to make out was the unusual light itself. But whatever the case may have been, UG wisely decided to call it a night and made his way home. The next day, Griffith mentioned the odd sighting to a couple of acquaintances, but was, by all accounts, not taken too seriously. But by the end of the following night, the citizens of Van Meter would not be so skeptical.
Foreshadowing.
That evening, the town doctor, A.C. Alcott, closed up his office on Principal Street and prepared to retire in a room he had set up over his offices for just such purposes. As he settled down for a few good hours of sleep, he could never have imagined that he would be awoken in the dead of night by a living nightmare.
Can we start going by our initials real quick, like C.C. Carnicelli?
Yeah, that's
All right.
that's fine.
Okay.
But-
R.T. Morphy, MR.
It would be
MR
R.T.
stores.
Morphy, Deuce.
Oh, R.T. Morphy the second. And
Roman
then
numeral me, bitch.
No,
MR.
that's just a droid now.
Yeah,
MR.
that's true.
MR.
I know.
MR stores.
Mark
RTM
4. Rob 2.
All right, perfect. All right, so they're R.T. Morphy 2. Continue.
Living nightmare. Thank you.
Continue.
It was 1 a.m., again 1 a.m., on September 29th. Dr. Alcott had been asleep for hours when he was startled awake by a ghastly gurgling sound that he took for someone choking. His eyes popped open, but no sooner than they did, a sudden burst of light hit him squarely in the face. Not a man to be trifled with, the hot-tempered healer, ostensibly still in his sleeping clothes, leapt up from his bed and grabbed his large-caliber revolver, which wasn't specified,
Hand cannon.
indeed, and ran outside to confront the intruder, be they merry prankster or psychopathic strangler. What confronted him would be much worse. Once outside, the man of science could scarcely believe his eyes. Looming before him was a creature unlike any he had ever seen or imagined. It seemed like a twisted, over-imaginative child had managed to bend the laws of evolutionary biology to his whims in order to create some kind of diabolical freak of nature. It was unlike anything else on Earth. According to the October 11th, 1903 edition of the St. Paul Globe, this was the description given by the good doctor. Dr. Alcott saw a monster, seemingly half human, half beast with great bat-like wings. But as terrifying as this beaked, it has a beak, bipedal, 8-foot-tall apparition clearly was, Dr. Alcott was struck by its oddest attribute, an evidently self-illuminated appendage that the paper described thusly. A dazzling light that fairly blinded him came from a blunt, horn-like protuberance in the middle of the animal's forehead.
So it's got like a fucking
So a rounded
super,
nub horn,
like a
not like a super sharp deadly
weird
deadly
unicorn
horn.
with a light or
Yeah,
something.
like a nubby, bat-winged, 8-foot-tall beaked unicorn with like a fucking built-in forehead flashlight, I guess, like a miner's lamp, but
like a headlamp. All right, yeah. Well,
You know?
fucking sweet. All right, that's great for I don't know, fucking mining maybe. I don't know.
and you know
Seeing
what?
in the dark.
You accidentally foreshadowed, sir.
Oh, did I? Oh,
You did
shit.
indeed. At this point, the creature then emitted what the witness called a stupefying odor that almost overcame him. Feeling that there was no other recourse, the terrified medicine man took aim and fired 5 of his 6 rounds at the unfathomable entity.
Jesus, he just unloaded.
Just makes sense. You got to go pop,
Well,
pop,
So
pop.
this thing has like defensive farts, and he's just like, "Fuck you!" Dun, 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 dun,
Well, I mean,
dun.
I don't think it's necessary. Like, if it was a
Yes.
skunk, I doubt he would have shot him fucking 17 times. But being 8 foot tall, glowing, winged, diabolical looking.
I mean, I guess you don't really have. I normally advocate the shooting
Yeah, I
of
know. I'm
creatures,
confused.
but I don't know, man.
Because
Like, wait,
I have
take
to
a pause.
admit, as I researched
I
this,
don't
I
know,
thought
Raj.
all of Mark's ancestors came from Van Meter. As our dear listeners will find out, those who already know, and those who don't will certainly enjoy. This is a town of Marks. Abject, unapologetic
I know.
Marks.
You've shot much lesser creatures.
It all, but
Theoretically,
again,
of course.
Yeah,
I'm
well, that's all theoretical shooting.
self-aware. I'm self-aware enough to know of my blood alcohol content is going to determine what I'm going to shoot.
Right, and you are
So
a
I kinda
theoretical creature assassin.
Yeah,
you really are.
I'm not.
like you don't huck rocks.
No, I don't
You huck
kill
mortality.
I don't
Yeah.
kill.
You've shot all of mythology. Like all of it.
Yeah, all centaurs are gone thanks to Mark.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes same. You got to know when to stand your ground. You got to know when to take a pause and be like, you know what? Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's happening.
I just know how you determine that though from this
It depends
situation.
on the level of alcohol. It's all about the booze. It's all.
So you're
how
not
much,
drunk enough to advocate Dr. Alcott's.
Not yet, but I'm getting there.
Defensive measures.
After we crush that White Claw, I think I'm getting there.
So if you see,
Oh, we all dump that. That's
yeah,
so
that
bad.
White Claw's trash.
so if you see this thing sober, it's okay. But if you see like a squirrel when you're hammered, you're just like
Yeah, I'm pulling
Rambo.
I'm pulling a sword.
Did,
So-
You get katana the fucking squirrel. Your tail will be my treasure.
I might have size. I don't know. I can't
a
confirm
machine
that.
gun of axes.
That would be the best. That's the sound of the machine gun of
It's
axes.
terrible.
Nicole, where's the machine gun of axes?
Stephen Chow totally has to use that in a movie. That's all I could see.
So
I
this
know.
dude unloads 6 rounds. into
Doctor,
him. Doctor,
not just
I'm
a
sorry.
dude.
AC Alcott.
Esteemed, loved town doc, beloved. You know what I see him like a cherubical guy that plays like Santa at Christmas time. He's got a
Right.
belly and long white
But
hair.
no, remember
and he treats the kids for free.
He's got a bad temper.
Well, because he fucking ran out with a shotgun because apparently somebody put a fucking flashlight in his face. Like, he didn't know what was going on. He's like, oh, you're going to flash me, bitch?
Yeah.
Shotgun time.
This is 1903. You can shoot people at a willy-nilly, I think they call it.
I don't even know why everyone
Yeah.
wasn't murdered. Why does the human race exist? Before forensics, I don't know why we're not just a murder pile. The human race should be just a memory that the human
Yeah.
race can't
I don't
remember
know
because we should all be dead.
How we made it past Tombstone.
Really? I
Yeah,
know.
well, we did. Thank you. And thank you, who was in Tombstone.
Thank you, everyone who didn't shoot our ancestors.
Well, I mean,
Emilio
do
Estevez
you mean the
was in
people? Oh,
Tombstone.
fuck you. That's Young Guns, you
Oh,
son of a
shit, is
bitch.
it? Oh,
You're
it
thinking
is.
Val Kilmer. You're thinking almost certainly Kurt
Yeah.
Russell. You're
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
thinking Sam Elliott. If you keep fucking up like this, Lord in heaven.
Wow. You're coming back from pneumonia recovery strong.
I know.
Wow.
I know. For our listeners that don't know, I came close to death's door. Maybe you'll hear about it later.
Oils.
Oils.
Essential oils. and
Listen after the music.
Rage,
Prayers.
rage oils and
And I don't. There was this new thing. No, the doctors actually tried this crazy thing. It's called antibiotics.
Oh, good,
I
good,
didn't
good,
even know
good.
it's experimental. It
All
was
right.
great.
All right. So he takes some shots. What happens
Dr.
now?
Alcott.
Dr. Alcott.
Okay. Although it didn't, Jesus, let me do this. Although it didn't seem possible to miss at that close range, Dr. Alcott either missed his mark or the bullets proved unable to penetrate the thing's thick hide. Either way, he wasn't going to wait around for its reaction. Within seconds, he retreated into his office and barricaded the windows and doors to his private room. He remained there for the night, convinced that the creature was not finished with him. Chad Lewis, the aforementioned author of the Van Meter book, has even speculated that Dr. Alcott saved one last bullet in case the beast broke through, not for self-defense, but to take his own life before it could.
Oh, wow. This guy's thinking way ahead. Way ahead.
Not my theory, his, but still
All right.
pretty creepy.
I don't know, man. I think you got to take the shot at the
If
creature,
your
not
five
at
fucking
yourself.
shots at virtually point-blank range didn't do anything, what's that last bullet while you're hiding in your room of terror going
It
to
just
do?
seems kind of speculative and kind of
It is speculative.
jumping the gun, if you will.
Wow.
Just saying.
Oh, listen to
Just saying.
Logical Mark.
Just saying.
Sober Logical Mark.
Oh, Dash Peterson.
I crushed. Dash Peterson. Really? Don't get political. My God,
Dash.
we've already got a bad review.
Dude, he's a
oh,
psychiatrist.
he's not. He's a guy. Oh, whatever. Okay. Well, don't get. Don't
A
get.
political psychiatrist. We're talking about a monster,
Oh,
friends.
we're gonna get a bad review.
Oh my God! Do not digress.
You brought it up, not me.
Fear the banter.
We're gonna get emails from whatever that guy name is, whatever that dude's name is, fucking Joe Loy or whatever.
Well, now we're going to get emails from Chad Lewis.
No, great, awesome. Continue.
Needless to say, Dr. Alcott was a well-respected member of this small community. And while Griffith's strange tale of odd roof-hopping lights may have been easy to dismiss, not so the town's beloved doctor's face-to-face encounter with a massive monster. The St. Paul Globe once again set the scene with a typical turn-of-the-century hyperbolic prose.
Ooh.
You're going to enjoy this. This is classic yellow, old-timey journalism.
All right.
The town of Van Meter, population 1,000, is terribly wrought up by what is described as a horrible monster. Every man, woman, and child in town is in a state of terror. Every fucking last one.
Yeah.
And fully half of them fail to close their eyes in slumber, except in broad daylight.
After one dude
Fully
took 5
everyone.
shots.
Well,
okay. All right.
one
fair,
guy saw
fair.
a hopping light.
All right, fair. Everyone's
One
scared.
beloved doctor took 5 shots.
Yeah.
Fully half of them can't sleep unless the sun is burning into their corneas.
Okay. Well, all right.
It was written in a paper. Whether or not a full half of the town was unable to sleep at night cannot be confirmed. What can be, however, is the fact that this mysterious being decided to appear again on a 3rd consecutive fucking night.
Even after the fucking the lashing it took in the papers.
Yeah,
It's
you'd
back.
You'd think it would read its
Yeah, it would
reviews.
be like shit.
You know, it'd be at
Shit.
Spago's or
Yeah.
some restaurant at night, like picking up the paper going, no.
Indeed. Oh no. Oh God.
Tragic.
No, it's back. All right.
Yeah, there it
doesn't
is.
fucking care. It's making a point.
Clarence Dunn.
Clarence done.
The Van Meter bank manager was one of the many who heard the wild tales of glowing monsters. He put little stock in the theory, but like U.G. Griffith, he assumed that there may well be a bandit on the loose, and he had no intention of letting his institution be victimized by a very real thief hiding behind some cockamamie ghost story.
Oh, best thief ever.
Oh, yeah.
Giant 8-foot suit, big fucking headlight, looking all
I
creepy
mean,
and shit.
Batman wanting to intimidate criminals? Step back, bitch.
Yeah, or fucking
The Van Meter burglar
or the
owns you.
coolest
Yeah.
fucking fucking published Scooby Doo monster ever.
Oh, it's totally a pulp.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
totally like
Yeah.
from this era. I was about to say early 20th century pulp. This is phenomenal for that. To that end, Dunn left his comfortable home on the outskirts of town and decided to spend the night in the lobby of the bank with his trusty buckshot-filled shotgun by his side. Robbers be damned.
So the bank manager is really taking his job seriously.
Well, I mean, the insurance isn't the same in 1903.
All right,
I mean,
true,
Bonnie and
true,
Clyde, I don't know,
all
they
right.
came some years after, but I mean, there was a time when if you stole some money and went over a county line, the bank was fucked. The bank had to
Right.
close. I mean,
All right,
there's
so
a reason
this
why
guy is
that was
dedicated to his job.
easy one.
and
Well,
his
not
bank.
easy, but easier.
Or
Yeah.
he just
Oh,
want-
he's
or
super
he just wants
or
to
he's
shoot
the manager.
somebody.
He's got a sweet house. He's got a lot of money. He's like, fuck this shit. I got some buckshot. I don't know if buckshot's the most efficient deterrent.
Better than birdshot.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so we got done in the lobby. Once again, at the tick of 1 a.m., an ominous silhouetted figure appeared in the front window of the bank, shining a brilliant light through the thick pane of glass. Terrified, Dunn gasped and blasted a huge hole through the main window, sending thousands of shards of glass tinkling into the streets.
Wow, shoots first.
Shoots for like It could have been Bill with the fucking
Could
lantern.
have been anybody. Yeah.
Could have been Old Man Jenkins.
Wow, all right.
Did they have flashlights in 1903? I know they had electricity. They had rudimentary telephone lines.
I don't know.
Certainly, they had telegraphs.
I don't know 1903
And I don't even know what.
Dude, we don't know what's under Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
How are we supposed to fucking? How do we know if they had
we are not
lanterns?
historians.
I recently asked if cops were around in like 23,
Oh,
and I'm still
Jesus
not convinced that they
Christ.
were. So,
See, now
anyway.
that's silly, my friend. Too frightened to see what was in the dark, done hidden till dawn. Like I say, super courage. Then tentatively stepped outside. He fully expected to find either a dead animal or criminal, or at least puddles of dry blood that might lead to the whereabouts of the mysterious interloper. But there was nothing of the sort. In fact, after a lengthy search, all Dunn could come up with was a huge set of bizarre three-clawed tracks in the dirt outside of the bank. Dunn allegedly had a plaster cast made of the clearest track, which has sadly been lost to time.
Oh, why
And that's
do
the
people?
Isn't that the way?
Isn't it always? But like I love bragging on this. Dana Holyfield, the granddaughter of the man that first.
The bones that she gave, or the
Well,
bones?
no, the bones were given to me by a completely different dude involving a completely different cryptid. That's a whole different story.
that we collectively lost.
That's listen.
all right.
That is our biggest shame.
In all fairness, it was stones.
In all fairness, it was stones. It was supposed to be fossilized. Listen, all right, this is a story for another time.
All right,
we can't do this during Van
real
Meter.
quick, Dana Holyfield.
Dana Holyfield, when we went to interview her back in the early 2000s for our Honey Island speculative documentary that almost turned into a TV show, she brought out the original cast that her grandfather had taken, and I got to hold them, and I swear to God, it felt like the fucking Holy Grail. I mean, to hold the
'Cause she kept
original
them, yeah.
plaster cast. I mean, I remember seeing this on In Search of as a kid. So it's a damn tragedy that the Van Meter ones are gone, but it makes me think that it's like holding Bluff Creek Bigfoot tracks, like the plaster prints of that. Like to be able to touch it, to me, that's like living history.
Right.
For people that are into cryptozoology, that get you all worked
Yeah, the
up.
rest of us are like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, it's
Whetstone
of
this
a
guy
lie.
actually, this guy has enough, foresight to be like, oh, I should get
Apparently.
a cast of these.
And maybe they're like lingering in someone's basement in a box or
His
someone's attic. You never
grandkids threw them
know.
away when he died.
Yeah, you don't know.
That's what happens.
Oh, they're at the dump.
Fuck yeah, they're at the dump.
They're at the dump. Lost to time.
Lost.
Everything's at the dump.
Everything technically is at the dump. Yeah.
The bulk of everything ever made is at the dump.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
if you go
the
there,
history of humanity
is at the dump.
Is at the fucksucking dump.
Exactly.
When the townsfolk, getting back on point, awoke to see the mess that had been made in front of the bank and the eerie footprints around the structure, those who had remained skeptical started to scratch their heads with wonder, and those who were already afraid became utterly petrified. But it was about to get. Can you imagine which way? Even worse.
Better.
No, see,
I thought it was going to
that's
be better.
Burge
Yeah,
Chris.
like, wait, no.
100th episode, and he says better.
I'm dumb.
It
Jeez
showed,
Louise.
it showed up with a bunch of beers and was like, hey guys, we're friends.
Party Van Meter.
I got beers and pizza.
I brought the sunshine.
Yay.
Here's a rainbow.
Here's Jesus' love.
Oh, Van Meter Monster
gold.
cannot
I brought
provide
gold
that.
for everyone.
Oh my God,
Here's
he's
an
a
iPhone.
leprechaun.
Everyone gets an iPhone.
He's a
Here's an
hyper-Christian
iPhone.
leprechaun.
Oh,
That's
there you go.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Everyone
cool.
gets an iPhone. He's Oprah too. All right. Guess what happens on the next night?
Oh, let me guess.
Nothing. Psych.
Oh, shit.
There it is.
Wow, Rob.
Some local businessmen took to sleeping in their shops lest their livelihood be threatened by a lantern-wielding man or infernal beast.
Always keep the beast there.
O.V. White. That's great. I want to know what the first fucking two letters
Yeah,
mean.
really.
Old Vienna.
Yeah, it's true. Just say O.V.
clearly
add an
OV.
L, add an E.
Tiny beers.
O.V. White was sleeping above his hardware store when he was awoken by a sound that he compared to two metal files being ground against one another. That's an uncomfortable,
Two metal files.
like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
but-
my mouth can't do it, but it just doesn't sound comforting. He slowly opened his eyes, letting them adjust to the darkness, and crept towards the window, rifle in hand. White looked outside and was astonished to see the huge creature perched atop a telephone pole, apparently asleep.
Oh, shit.
Because monsters need to catch some Z's, bitches.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
You can't just be terrifying townsfolk 24/7.
I mean, 1903, I don't know about the whole sleep on top of a telephone pole. I'm assuming there's electricity up there. Probably not very well covered. Could electrocute yourself. Just saying, thinking OSHA here.
It's
Thinking
just
OSHA.
I'm sure it's an OSHA issue now.
Unless
Same.
it's just a bird.
Yeah, or it could be
So
an owl.
Skeptic Chris comes out early.
Yeah,
the 8
probably
foot
not, though.
bipedal glowing horn univulture.
Could just
Yeah.
be a fucking turkey vulture. Just saying, but
You can
whatever.
shut the fuck up about turkey vultures.
Listen. I'm the fucking local expert on turkey vultures.
You're this table's expert on turkey vultures. Literally, that's it.
Yeah, I saw some this week.
Like, if
too,
you
so.
stepped outside of this room, you would stop being the number one man about that.
No
You
one.
know that.
There's probably someone down the hall that knows more.
With what was almost certainly dreams of glory at being a hero who, much like knights of old, vanquished the monster from their midst, White rested the barrel of his rifle on the sill, took careful aim, and pulled the trigger. He knew he had this thing dead to rights, but a second later he realized that the bullet had done nothing more than wake this dreadful apparition.
Imagine how tired this thing has got to be of getting shot at.
Oh, God. Can you
Everyone,
imagine?
everyone in town.
Like, the fuck, guys?
Probably even the kids are like, pow, 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 just pew-pewing this thing.
You know there's been a lot of rock hooking that just fell under the news people radar.
Yeah, probably.
Everything's being chucked at this poor
Maybe
fucking
you might.
beast.
I'm just saying, I don't want to be that guy, but you might need a cannon.
I'm gonna.
Find
You know
one.
what? I'm not gonna preempt my opinions on
Okay.
this.
All right. Well.
We all know what's happening.
Okay.
He woke him up with a bullet. The creature's rounded horn glowed to life. Can you imagine just like, vroom? You have to hear that like 80s
Yeah,
weird,
of
like
course.
deep bass sound. As it looked for the source of this assault, suddenly White claimed to have been overwhelmed by a noxious gas that came from the visitor.
Defensive farts.
Yeah. White would further claim, this is really interesting, that the vapor not only rendered him unconscious, but also erased his memories of what happened during the rest of the night.
That's convenient.
And a little pause here. If you're unconscious for the rest of the fucking night, then that's all it takes to erase your memories.
Yeah. You
Like,
know,
does
you
he-
have
How do you?
nothing-
Yeah. How do you know?
Like,
The
there
only
was no
thing happened.
dreams? You had no dreams?
Here's what I think happened, if I may digress for a
Okay.
moment. That he had a stinky fart incident with this fucking crazy beast. He passed out for maybe 10 minutes.
Right.
Went to the local brothel, maybe met a lady friend that was not who he
you're
was betrothed to.
Thinking he was stepping out.
He was doing some,
Getting a little bit of the old
felonious
side.
fucking. So here's what I honestly think. He smelled the deadly knockout fart for a hot minute. Was fucking gone for about 30 seconds to 10 minutes. Woke up. He's like, I'm going to go to the local brothel. I'm going to hit a little side. I'm going to do some shady shit outside of the bounds of sacred matrimony.
He's going right. He's going right.
He's just- he's throwing
going
his
to the
dick around.
side real quick. Well, I mean, if there's ever an excuse, I guess that's
You
the
know
one,
the phrase.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, the felonious wand dick.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
So this motherfucker's out throwing dick left and right, and then when his wife's like, "What'd you do?" It's like, "Monster baby." I told the paper.
Wow.
I was unconscious the whole night, but what I wasn't unconscious for, when Ray saw me down at the bar, memories erased.
Oh, wow.
Because the
Yeah.
monster has memory erasing
Farts?
particles in his fart.
Yeah, all right.
I was trying to come up. What's in farts?
Uh,
Particles.
Methane?
Yeah.
I mean, really, just
Well,
methane.
but these are Van Meter farts. So
oh,
it's methane
yeah. Phosphorus,
and memory
maybe.
erasing
Yeah.
particles.
Okay, cool. Maybe
Yeah.
it
Evidence.
farts. Yeah.
It's proof right there.
Yeah, it is.
But besides me being real suspect of fucking OV White's illicit shit,
Okay.
There is sort of something analogous more seriously to like alien abductions or something. The idea that, that he felt like he was not only rendered unconscious but missing memory. I'm not saying anything happened because, in fact, the night's not over yet. But what I am saying is that that's a kind of strange thing to suggest that you actually lost memory on top of everything else. All right. So this is where it gets kind of interesting because another witness comes on the scene.
All right.
White might have been incapacitated by the thing's defense mechanism, but Sidney Gregg, another local business owner keeping guard of his shop across the road, heard the shot and went outside to see what was going on. It would be a decision that he would eternally regret. Once he stepped outside, Greg watched in horror as the huge thing scaled down the telephone pole, utilizing both his claws and mouth, beaked mouth that is, to hold onto the wood in the manner of a parrot. It was directly compared by the eyewitness to the
All right,
reporter
weird.
as like a parrot.
Okay.
But that kind of adds like a weird animalistic
It
quality
does,
to
yeah,
it.
it's strange.
The shocked store owner stared as the nearly 9-foot-tall creature released the pole, dropped down onto all fours, then reared up on 2 legs like a human being.
Oh, that's creepy.
So
That's-
down,
yeah,
haunches,
that's
up,
weird.
epically big,
Yeah.
wing. So this
Disco
here's the
horn?
thing.
Weird.
Disco horn. I love that.
Weird.
But what is implied by this description, and let me know if you guys got it, is 4 limbs and wings. Not
Yeah.
like a bat where
That's what I was
the
picturing.
arms
That's what I
would
was
turn
picturing
That's
first.
what I pictured at first too.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. You have to piece this together by account. Mm-hmm. And this account by Sidney Gregg seems to indicate that it fell on all 4s and had wings furled against its back. So we're talking more
now it's gargoyle.
NASA
It's
gargoyle. Exactly.
it's a giant
exactly.
gargoyle with a disco horn. All right.
When I almost wrote this article many years ago, before the term Van Meter visitor was coined, and I think it was coined by Chad Lewis, and I really love it. It's catchy as fuck. I think I called it like the Iowa gargoyle. I'm so glad I didn't bother because Van Meter
I don't know. It
visitor.
sounds kind of cool. The Iowa gargoyle.
But that's what I was thinking,
That's kind of
too.
neat. Yeah.
But not yours. No,
kinda
let's
neat.
give
Kinda
Mr.
neat.
Lewis his due.
I'm just saying. I listen. There's room for the Iowa gargoyle. We're changing the name of this episode. No, we're not. To the Iowa gargoyle because it won't help us in
And
fucking
dear
Google
listeners,
searches.
That's what a good friend does.
There you go. That's right. Iowa gargoyle.
When you do some stupid shit in your past, they're like, no,
it's
that was
fine.
better.
Yeah,
that was the
you
one.
You got it. Iowa
Yeah.
gargoyle. Yeah. Fuck you.
Thank
it
you,
fucking
Mark.
works. You're welcome, Robert.
You're the
Episode 100.
best.
Congratulations.
Gargoyle.
You're welcome, Christopher.
Okay.
Your silence speaks volume.
I have to pick and choose my voice.
Oh, that's right, because your voice is
It's
going to
true.
fucking
No,
die.
he's
I have to pick
yeah.
and choose my voice.
Oh,
All
baby
right.
deer.
Oh, baby deer.
baby deer.
Bambus.
Before he could even think of raising his own weapon, Greg watched slack-jawed as the beast went back down on all 4s, unfurled its colossal wings, and shot up into the sky.
Oh, man, it's got fucking flight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it had wings the whole time.
I don't know.
But
It
no
could
one
have
ever
been,
saw-
a fucking turkey. Like the turkey of cryptids. Turkeys
Oh, you're
can't
right.
fly?
Yeah,
No, you're right.
dude.
Chickens suck at flying.
Turkeys
Penguins.
can fly an amount. I've seen them.
Well, they
They can, like,
barely fly.
scuttle-
Yeah.
Butt
Dude,
fly.
I have video footage of it flying into a fucking tree.
Well, yeah, but they don't fly like long distances.
All right, that just blew my mind a little.
It can get airborne.
Yeah, they can.
So
They
it
have
could
a
claw
tiny...
your face if it wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It could soar
100%.
face high.
Oh, yeah, totally.
No one ever told me this.
But they're not like a rob. They're not graceful. They look
who's-
dumb when they fly.
Who said graceful
Yeah,
was a
nobody- yeah.
prerequisite for doing?
All right. Anyway.
It's not like I'm a super graceful walker, but I still managed to fucking
You
get
walk.
places.
Listen, you walk fine. I like the Iowa gargoyle, but I don't like turkeys. Robert, continue. Thank
Unfurled its wings
you. All right.
and flew, but where to?
Oh.
Does anyone want to know?
Space.
Yeah,
Yes,
space.
outer space.
Hell or space. Hell or space.
This might come into play
tried.
too. God damn you. No, you
Tried.
are
I
a foreshadow
tried.
master.
I tried. No one joined in. Thanks, guys.
Heading in the direction of the old brickyard and abandoned coal mine just outside of town. That's where it was flying.
I may have known that there was a mine. I'm not saying I did.
Well, it's part of Van Meter lore.
I'm not saying I read it.
During the course of the
Jerk.
night. Yeah, oh, you fucking foreshadow jerk.
really good tonight.
Look at me. I don't know anything, but I do because I read the article.
I'll admit it later.
Wow.
People think I'm smart.
It's like quiz show all over again.
It is.
Boy, that's a
Damn it.
horrible ancient reference,
Bitch.
if I may. During the course of the night, an unnamed resident said he saw it hopping like a kangaroo. So that's interesting. It's weird because phantom kangaroos and whatever else, but maybe, like the poor goddamn telepathic football of lore, this thing might have not been quite as bulletproof, but I think it is pretty goddamn bulletproof. But it might have been winged and had to hop, or maybe it's like the Hulk. Maybe it doesn't so much fly as like a turkey
it Hulk
or whatever,
jumps?
like jumps flap, and goes a certain way.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
it's
Hulk-
not like
the Hulk
a
will-
soaring super condor.
Right.
Maybe it's a sloppy flyer.
Kind of like OG Superman, where he didn't really fly. He just jumped.
Just, leap tall buildings in a single bound. Like,
How-
when did he become a
How
fucking
could no one-
Olympian god?
How could no one figure out flying? Like, well, he jumps really big.
But that's
Like, he flies,
because you got to
motherfucker.
remember in like 1913
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whenever they invented him,
People were dumb. I know.
no, they weren't dumb. It was like, let's just keep this. Hey, let's be realistic. He jumps tall building in a single
he
bound.
doesn't
Flying
fly.
is stupid.
Okay, fine.
He's bulletproof, but not like atomic bomb proof.
All right,
like
so-
they deified him.
So-
They deified him in the
So this
years.
thing is hopping like a kangaroo,
hopping like a-
possibly because it could have been injured.
Right.
Okay, cool.
But that's my theory. I don't even.
I'm with you on it.
While the local high school teacher claimed that it resembled an antediluvian devil. You got to love that.
The antediluvian devil.
Because
My favorite
he's a
devil.
man of kind of science.
All right,
He's
fill
like,
me- hold on, wait.
antediluvian just means ancient.
all
All
right.
it means is old timey. It could be anything from dinosaurs to like the Roman Empire. It's whatever
They're
you
not
want to
these,
use it
they're
for.
Why
not
is
these
everyone-
newfangled
Yeah,
devils.
why is everyone smart all of a sudden? Come on, fill
Well,
me in.
he's a high school teacher in 1903.
No, I mean, what you guys? Clearly
Antediluvian.
You
antediluvian.
know
Fill me- I
I've
don't
used
know.
antediluvian on the damn podcast. Are
I
you not
act-
studying your kryptonite vocab?
I act like I know shit, but I don't really. This is how I graduated high school.
Old timey.
Dude, okay.
That's all you got to know.
Fine.
Old.
But I find it funny that he's like both prehistoric, demon. You know, it's
Well,
like
yeah,
it's like you're
'cause-
riding the line. It's like
So it's an antediluvian demon.
that's what this anonymous high school teacher
Sweet.
said. One J.L. Pratt Jr. even claimed to have heard a shrieking noise down by the local coal mine. So they see something flying there. Some other dude, J.L. Jr., hears a cry. You know, the Zeitgeist is heading towards this area. By Friday morning, the near panic-stricken, they've already gone past sheer panic at this point. I said that was the maximum. It's not. Panic-stricken
Okay,
is the
stricken.
maximum.
All right.
Citizens of Van Meter were fed up with this flying fiend and wanted to put a stop to the whole damnable affair. That afternoon, a posse of armed men assembled in town and waited for the thing to rear its luminescent noggin.
All right, so I have enough beers in me at this point that, yeah, I mean, if this is happening, you got to gun up and just wait for it to appear. We would do that, wouldn't we?
Nope.
I would. You
I
guys
don't know.
wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. We're getting close to the end.
All right.
We'll discuss that.
Enough beers. We're getting a posse.
You're getting there.
All right. Let's do it.
Some accounts say that the posse spotted a dark object soaring above the town and followed it in a northwesterly direction all the way to the crumbling mine shaft before it flew off again. Others suggest that they figured an open hole might just be their best bet to trap and kill this thing. And besides, old JL had heard something down there.
So
Whatever it was, the armed men laid in wait for what they hoped would be the creature's return to its purported home base. The mine shaft.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
they headed out
All
to the
right.
mine shaft because somebody saw it flying. Good old JL Jr. heard a sound.
Right.
Yeah.
Other people say that during the day, which would be weird because this thing has only shown up at about 1 a.m. really every time.
Right.
That they saw a dark object flying in that direction. Other people are like, they just figured.
So there's
Fuck it, let's go to the mine. We're
there-
sitting here downtown with guns. Let's go to the mine
they're
shaft because at least
assuming
it's
that
doing something.
it's coming to or from the mine. Okay.
That's the general.
And I didn't actually read the entire story. I just saw the word coal mine and figured. Why
yeah.
not?
Well, that's good figure.
I mean, you know, I just
how you do
this is how I graduated high school.
Absolutely.
You didn't
And
graduate.
I did.
You did. No,
I did.
I've seen your
No,
diploma.
I did. No, I really did.
You didn't.
Son of a bitch! I graduated high school.
No, you didn't.
You fucker. Oh, fine. I was pushed through.
Although, were you pushed through? Oh, that's so sad.
I was pushed through.
Oh,
You
bless
faked
your
it.
Yeah, I faked it.
You just learned to read last year.
I did. I'm still illiterate.
I so coasted.
You
through
guys
high
heard me
school.
do the intro to this podcast. Right? I can't say words. I just don't know what to do.
I've been reading the intros the whole time.
Yeah, really.
I modulated my voice.
He
Yeah.
does great, though.
He
You
does.
do
He's
great,
awesome.
Mark.
I do.
In all fairness, Chris does impeccable Mark.
Thank you.
Watch, listen to me.
I'm Mark.
Wow.
Oh, there
Oh,
you
my
go.
God. Chris, you have outdone yourself.
So they're at the coal mine. They think this thing is coming to and from the coal mine.
Yeah.
I did graduate high school. Chris is wrong. And what do we have next?
A lot more drinking to do. Although the Van Meter visitor most often made its presence known after the witching hour, as aforementioned, the posse saw neither hide nor hair of the thing until just before dawn, when, like a vampire avoiding the sun, it swooped past them and dove into the inky blackness of the desolate mine shaft. The men stared into the dark, foreboding maw of the mine, unsure of what to do next, and that's when an unholy cacophony began. The October 3rd printing of the Des Moines Daily News described the hellish din thus. Presently, the noise opened up again, as though Satan and a regiment of imps were coming forth for battle.
Satan and his imps?
Regiment of imps.
Regiment.
So that's
Did
a
he have
fucking,
imps?
That's a well,
Why not?
demons, imps.
Okay, all right, cool.
Maybe he's got goblin. I don't know what he has access to.
The entirety of
Like
darkness.
Gelflings or some
no,
shit?
that's true.
Right, pretty
no,
much.
Gelflings, they're not evil.
I'm just saying maybe
They're shitty Muppets, but they're not evil.
All right, cool. All right, so Satan's coming forth. I don't
Gelflings.
know. I was thinking about Dark Crystal.
Who are you?
Either
Skeksis,
way,
perhaps.
it
All right,
is,
Skeksis.
again, a rather hyperbolic rendition of what was probably just some clatter in the mine.
All right.
Probably.
The hellish din
Yeah.
of Satan and his impy minions. It would be at that moment when this implausible entity would emerge from inside the mouth of the mine to face its human stalkers. But this time it wasn't alone. Standing by its side was a smaller version of itself, no larger than 4 feet in height. Its mate, perhaps? Or maybe even a child.
You got a little miniature one?
It's coming out like an 80s, like direct-to-video knockoff of like Starman or E.T.
Right.
Where people have been tormenting this thing, and he comes out and it's like, but look, I'm a dad.
There's a tiny version of me.
It's not the same.
Look, I made this with another big thing.
I know love.
Yeah, I am
No,
love.
it's an episode of like Monsters.
It sort of is.
Yeah, it
kinda.
totally is.
Though
Yeah.
it also kind of reminds me of Gargoyles, where they
Oh,
had caves. and
that's
weird
all I
shit.
can see in my
That's
mind.
what we're talking about.
Gargoyles.
There was just a listener. Shit, I can't remember the person's name, but they toured. God damn it! My fucking shit brain. I got wet brain from booze or whatever. But this listener toured the fucking caves and saw one of the nests from the fucking film.
Oh, that's fucking.
You know,
It's still there.
and I can't remember the name. I'm so sorry.
That's
God,
one of
I hope
Stan
so.
Winston's first projects, and
Yeah,
he outdid
yeah.
himself. Like the movie Gargoyles
Shit.
scared my balls off
'Cause
when
they're
I was a
terrifying.
kid. Oh, when that claw and that hand comes up over the edge of the
It's
bed,
awful.
it still fucking gives me nightmares. Okay. The men looked at these beaked, winged bipeds that had, in fact, harmed no one, and in unison realized what they had to do. And this is a quote. Rid the earth of them.
Yeah.
That's from the
Wow.
newspaper. Yeah. You expect that like epiphany moment, like, hey,
No.
he's got a family, we've got families, he's not hurting us, he's just flying around the town, lighting up the night.
And then
No.
seek and destroy.
Simultaneously, the men all lifted their firearms and began to shower the incredible pair with a hail of bullets. According to the Des Moines Daily News, and this is again a quote from the newspaper, the reception they received would have sunk the Spanish fleet.
Jesus.
But aside from unearthly noise and a peculiar odor, they did not seem to mind it, but slowly descended the shaft of the old mine. And when they say slowly descended, I assume they mean fly, but I can't
No,
help
you
but
picture
see,
the sneaky
the
back into the darkness.
exactly. The sneaky reverse, like
Yeah.
they're floating gently backwards away, slowly diminishing into the darkness. How else can you see that? To make sure that this would be the last time that anyone would ever have to encounter one of these abominations of natural selection, the town fathers decided to seal the old mine and thus their passage to the overworld for all time. And yes, I have dubbed our plane the overworld.
The overworld?
We live in the overworld. Deal with it. That's what's happening now.
Okay.
Hashtag overworld. This is what's going on.
I like it.
And evidently their plan worked, for the Van Meter visitors, wherever they came from and whatever they may have been, were never seen again.
They killed him?
Or they descended backwards in glorious bullet imperviousness.
Into the hollow earth?
Maybe.
Where they live in peace and harmony with the other giant flying humanoid things?
That's a real possibility.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
In fact,
But
we're gonna
what?
entertain
They just
that
randomly
possibility.
come up here to sleep on a telephone pole, take a nap.
I mean, maybe they got too close to the crust. You know?
Too close to the
Too close
crust.
to the crust. Yeah, man, it happens occasionally.
Did the
You get too
miners dig
close.
too deep? No,
I
so
think
these
they
are
may
the
have.
things. So
All right.
here's the thing. I've obviously been taking scads of notes, and here's a various array of what the actual citizens of Van Meter thought they might have been. Now, you got to remember, 1903 was the year that the mountain gorilla was, first discovered by Westerners, obviously, the indigenous peoples knew
Right.
about them. So brand new animals were not something that were, it was something that was in headline news and was something that people were fully expecting. So some people thought it was a new species of bat. Kind of legit. I mean, maybe there's some super bat
Yeah,
with a
could
glowing
be.
horn that can stand on 2 legs. I don't buy that, but that's one of the thoughts. So other people thought that the miners had actually dug too deep. And like Mark was kind of indicating in a joke,
The hollow earth, yeah.
broke the fucking, the crust between the subterranean world and, again, as it's coined, the overworld, and the breach was made. Not that these things are particularly harmful or dangerous. And that's really the thing that I didn't know much about the Van Meter monster when I started researching for this. I mean, I'd heard about it enough, and you see that one really, I call it an apocryphal illustration because it's almost like it's got like some glowing Doctor Strange rune in its chest. You know what I'm saying? It's got a beak and wings that hang down that look like a cape. And I thought, oh, this is some crazy black magic shit. But no, it never really shot a blinding spell from its fucking torso.
It just kind of shows up and it glows, and then people shoot at it.
Yeah, it's got even calling it a horn seems like a misnomer. It's like they got a glowing knob on its head,
right?
A beak. Some people described its wings, and this is very interesting, not bat-like, because it didn't have feathers, so people called it bat-like, but bird-like without feathers.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
That's weird.
Now you go into pterodon land, or pterodactyl, or these old flying reptiles. Now, I'm not suggesting that... All right, let's take this one step at a time.
Or they had feathers, just ones that were not discernible in the dark.
It's also a possibility.
Could be translucent feathers, as per Chris.
But from the cryptozoological perspective, the one thing I could think is that maybe it is an extinct animal. I don't know how it could survive underground. I don't know. I'm not even going to surmise about that. But you guys have heard about the ropin of Papua New Guinea, which are these like giant pterodactyls, basically. Well, I don't know. They're in Papua New Guinea. Anyway, they're Solomon Islands, maybe. They're in that area of the Pacific. And they're supposed to be bioluminescent reptiles, like old school pterodons. So it's interesting to me that some people have illustrated this thing like a pterodactyl, basically, with a glowing horn. It's not the first time in the history of cryptozoology that a glowing horn has been reported in association with these things. Do I think that's what it is? No, because like there's that old German story where they dug into a mine and I don't even know, maybe it was in German, but like a pterodactyl was stuck in a stone just like frogs are sometimes.
I vaguely remember
ancient
this.
animals being held in suspense, whatever. Here's what my moral of this story is. I don't think this is a cryptozoological phenomenon.
All right, so you think that maybe this is just some sort of species of creature or creatures living in the center of the hollow earth?
Well, they seem to be more... Well, here's the thing. Cryptozoological implies to me the search literally for hidden animals. It doesn't imply to me that's what it is.
Right.
These things seem to be... Well, this thing primarily seems to be smarter. I'm thinking more in the term of a being or entity and less in the term of an animal, even though it's described as an animal, but which is understandable.
Okay.
Only because... It's not attacking. Like when you, and it's also either bulletproof or fucking magical.
Or
in some
everyone's
way.
a really shitty shot.
Yeah,
that's true.
More what I'm thinking.
If you see that thing, you're going to be so. It sounds
the
good.
Stats for people that actually shoot under duress are horrible.
It sounds good to think that like you're going to be like the last man standing, but I don't really think a lot of people are just because of sheer nerves. I mean, granted, there are some folks out there, I'm sure, that are really good, awesome shots
and keep a cool
and under anxiety
temper.
and stress, they can fucking do it. But for the most part, you're probably just shooting wildly.
Well, as much as I love. Like Sergio Leone and Corbucci and the rest spaghetti westerns where everyone's a dead hand shot and everything's fast.
Oh, yeah.
I think the 92 Unforgiven film with Clint Eastwood is the best because it really shows you not only is it hard to kill people, there's a reason why he's a legend.
Yeah,
because keeping
everyone
your mind
missed.
cool and just killing 3 people is hard. Yeah. So while the doctor seemed to be
trying to
point blank
shoot
at an
this giant fucking thing is going to be next to impossible.
Well, the doctor's the one that seems like the most mysterious because it was right there, but he could have been an older gentleman. Who knows? He was scared.
Sure.
But when you're randomly taking pot shots from your window at a telephone pole and other things, of course you can miss.
Yeah.
So it's either bulletproof or these people are really shitty shots and they're trying to be like, I can't fathom how.
Yeah.
It's made of titanium and dreams. No one can shoot this thing, you know?
Titanium and dreams. All right, so...
But I still think there seems to be a bit of intelligence for this. Even if they're shooting wild, a wild animal, I think, would
just run.
Would run.
It would jet.
Or attack.
Yeah. This thing, it does attack slowly.
It doesn't attack. It never attacks.
No.
It comes down. It looks,
descends.
And then it swoops.
And then it goes down and it goes back. It could have just, you would think, just launched from where it was.
It does not attack.
Instead of doing a superhero landing.
But it kind of has like a Spider-Man landing a little bit. Like,
and then it does the superhero
the fours
landing.
and then the up.
Yeah, I guess more like a Batman.
Probably did the pose, the whole 9 yards.
So, the mine's interesting though because that does again lead us down the road of like, did this thing actually come from the mine and then it appears with either a mate and or a fucking baby? I'm gonna say after hearing this account and reading the research, I'm going to say that I think this thing came from the mine because they in fact broke the crust between our world and the hollow Earth.
Okay.
And also, too, today, and we're not going to get into this at this moment, but there is a new theory, probably not new, but I just heard about it, the hollow sun.
The hollow fuck.
Yeah, we're not going to listen. You know what, Robert?
No, I'm not going to do this.
I'm not going to do this. Drugs and bearskin rugs.
Not on our 100th fuck-sucking episode.
About the hollow sun.
Tell me the moon's real, just once, just for me.
I won't.
Tell me the moon's real.
The alleged moon.
Would you give me a bone?
The alleged sun.
You fucker.
Christopher, what do you think?
Well, the alleged Earth.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. The alleged Earth.
Yeah. It's not real. The Earth isn't real.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
if we're all fucking simulations, yeah. It's a fuck all.
Well, I mean, it's still real, but whatever.
We're real, just the Earth is fake.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
Just the three of us, though?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything's fake.
You would think if everything was designed for us, it would have done a better job.
It would have been a lot easier.
No. Look at us.
Yeah. They fucked up. The programmers need to all be fired.
Why would you make White Claw?
Oh my God! Why would you? Unless we're just their fucking playthings.
Well, I know.
Little shit boys.
I know what the answer to that is. Only one of us actually survived the reality, and one of us is the programmer of this.
So who's?
So one of us is a real asshole.
Yeah, one of us is a.
Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me like
Because
that?
the White Claws.
Oh wow!
Oh
The
shit!
White Claws, Mark's
Yeah,
the
you did
asshole.
bring
My
White
world
Claws.
will not have that.
Oh, but you know
Yeah,
what?
all right.
No, here's the interesting thing. A really twisted mind would make Mark bring the White Claws in the program to throw the fucking
see? Yeah.
suspicion
Yeah, so
off.
you know who it actually is? It's fucking Rob.
It probably is me.
Yeah, exactly.
Could
But
be.
oddly
You
enough,
maniacal fuck.
dude, we would be constantly in a mid-'70s bad film orgy while we ate Angelo's pizza and fucking swam in whiskey
Not
pools.
if you didn't want us to know it was you.
Yeah.
But why would I want to torture you two?
All right. Anyway,
I
Christopher.
don't know.
It's fucking
you
dumb.
You don't know. I don't know the rules of reality.
Yeah, and neither do you, or do you?
Well, then it's not really me. It's a dick version of me that's not me.
All
It's,
right.
it's fucking anti-me.
Or it is the
Rob.
real you. Because it is
Well,
the
then
real
I'm
you.
a better me.
Okay, so
I'm
Jesus
the better
Christ.
me.
Christopher, what do you think happened with the Van Meter visitor?
I don't know.
Or as Rob dubbed it, and I think he should keep
never
this, the
know.
Iowa gargoyle.
I'm not proud of that one.
Do you feel as though that this may have come from the hollow earth and or it was dwelling in this cave?
dwelling in the cave is possible. Hollow Earth, no.
Okay, fine.
It's funny because up until the point to where it jumped down like a superhero and booked,
Right.
I could have just said, oh, it's a big fucking bird that they're identifying. And then all of a sudden it's got 4 limbs and a biped.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it turned, now it's a gargoyle. In my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it could have been like
Vulture,
a fucking,
now it's gargoyle.
like a vulture
Right.
that accidentally had a gem embedded in its head, catching the light or something.
Yeah, we never did actually say what do we think this thing could have been misidentified for. So, I mean, is Iowa known for having big fucking giant birds?
I don't know.
I don't think anything that big.
Besides corn and college football,
I know,
much of what I was known for.
I know, like California condors are fucking ridiculous size.
Yeah, but
They're like
none of
cars.
that is. It's not the wingspan, which must have been massive. It's
Right,
the
right,
8-foot height,
The disco
Which is
horn.
still
8 to 9 foot.
Right.
It's the glowing,
maybe.
rounded protuberance or whatever.
Right.
And a beak is a beak. That's just a standard, interesting.
But
so it's really a vague reference. So I see where you guys are talking about it could have been a bird, but the size alone.
Yeah.
If it's correct.
If it's correct, I mean, all right,
Yeah,
so
could
maybe
be.
they're exaggerating and it's 6'5".
I mean,
then it still could be.
It is
a Huron
1903.
or
like,
yeah, but they're not dumb just because it's 1903.
Some people are dumb.
No.
yeah, they're not like they're not.
No,
Some
but I
people
don't.
are dumb.
You know, I don't cotton to the old.
We
I
diss
get you don't
the
have the
old
same
people,
science.
or is that a thing?
What?
I
We're
don't.
like, you're old, you're dumb.
I'm not an ageist, nor do I think people
Yeah,
in
no,
older
that's
times.
some fallacy. Yeah.
I mean, they might have had less knowledge.
I mean,
but they
we're
weren't
old,
ignorant.
we're dumb, so that works for us,
Well,
right?
yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, no,
right.
perception of stuff isn't always what you
Yeah,
think it
and
is.
You don't. You have the internet. You don't got Wikipedia.
So, I mean,
or
but are-
Wikipedia.
God
like, you
damn
ain't
it.
got it.
I'm
God
just saying
damn it.
it could have been up until that point.
Even
is what
all right,
I'm
yes,
saying. That's
but-
all I'm saying.
All right, I
right.
agree with what
All
Chris is
right.
saying, but in deference to Mark, I mean that's a lack of the internet does not instantly
clear-
categorize this as a standard
I-
fucking bird.
I
mean,
know-
an ornithologist would look at this and go, "Well, fuck."
Rob, I know that. I'm just saying.
You're trying to be pragmatic.
I'm trying to be pragmatic. So, okay, it could have been any number of things, but the glowing protuberance right?
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that
so
word.
it's a
I
weird
can't.
word.
My lips don't want to say that word.
Rounded horn.
Rounded horn. The sheer size of it, and again, it retreats to the fucking mine and shows up with a mini version of itself, like it's a little mini fucking Manila or fucking Gorgira. Just shows there, and it's like, hey, what's up? There we are. There it is.
It's just
That's to me, that seems like such a sweet thing.
It almost sounds like
before,
it's
like that. Here I am.
Or
I'm a father, or a mother.
It's
even.
it's a last stand.
No,
We're gonna die together.
Well, they weren't. No.
What the
Listen,
fuck do
why
you
would-
even?
I'm just saying, maybe
who
they
does
did.
It's a
this?
last
Listen,
stand.
who does
Yeah, it
this?
could be a last
This
stand.
thing already flew past them.
Could be impervious anyway.
He could be impervious.
Could be impervious.
He could
Yeah.
be like a goddamn bulletproof parrot from fucking Mid-Nevada or Mel's Hole.
Right.
But this thing was already safe in the bowels of the mine. Why would it say, hey, I got past the bullets. Son, come with me. Face this hail that would sink a Spanish fleet. No animal would do that, and certainly no possibly
that many
thinking
people
creature
opened
would.
fired on that. You would think that something would happen.
I think they were either aware of what was happening. Here's honestly what it's strange. Like I know the fucking Hollow Earth is full of reptoids and Deros, detrimental role. I mean, we're gonna do other podcasts. I've been fascinated by Hollow Earth theories simply because they're so absurd and delightful, not because I necessarily
If you mean
think they're true.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right,
Fine.
Yeah,
It's a truth.
We'll agree to
Yeah.
just drink together. But
It's fine.
That having been said, I'm fascinated with the idea that if indeed what was reported is fairly accurate. I know there's a lot of what ifs.
By the esteemed Admiral Byrd?
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the goddamn Hollow Earth. I'm talking about Van Meter.
Oh.
Get on point.
Fine.
Stay on
Shit.
target.
Bird.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Luke.
Get to the goddamn point, Egg.
All right,
So,
so-
that having been said, I feel like these things were like not necessarily trying to communicate or do something beneficial for mankind, but when this thing shows up again with a smaller version of itself, it's like saying, hey, can't we just fucking be cool, dude? And obviously, 1903 Van Meter was not about to be cool with
With a
something
town
like this.
full of marks.
What you got to remember, and it is a town full of marks, a lot of people thought it was diabolical. Most people that saw
Well,
something
yeah.
like this,
I mean, what's not saying
and
that
especially associated with something that goes underground, thought it was a demon.
And also, too, it has
Yeah.
defensive farts.
yeah,
what's
but
not- what's
many
not-
creatures give off noxious fumes, from skunks to what all,
Dude,
stink bugs.
if this thing shows up with fucking sulfur defense,
that you have to kill it?
no, but it could be a demon.
Wow. No one said sulfur, though.
Well,
Stupefying,
okay, fucking
noxious.
It stinks.
Man.
It stinks like the bowels of hell.
This reminds me of a quote I found from, I believe, the current librarian of the town of Van Meter. And her name is Jolene Walker. And what she
Jolene.
had to say when she was asked if she believed the legend was true was, it depends on your belief system. I know there is good and I know there is evil. I believe there is a God, so I believe there is a demon. I'm saying it was evil. Now, that's her opinion in 2014, I think, that quote's
Perfect.
from.
That was pretty dead on. I think Jolene fucking
you know
nailed
what?
it.
And we're not,
She did.
trying to like single her out.
No, she has it.
But I think this is a classic case of a physical difference being demonized and ostracized, more than ostracized, being, actually assaulted, and there was no reason to. This thing did nothing but sleep on a telephone pole, shine its lighty nub at whoever fucking walked by.
Yeah.
And now I get the banker and other people are like, it's a fucking robber, or it's a group of thieves that are, scoping out the buildings at night, climbing up lanterns. You don't have fucking CCTV, you don't have all sorts of protective shit that we've gotten. But I don't get instantly assuming this thing has got malevolent intentions just because. Well, all right. I don't blame the doctor. If it's 8 or 9 foot tall right in front of you, you're gonna blast off and hide.
Well, yeah, just
but
from like an
in general-
intimidation factor, yeah.
But can I throw another idea here?
Okay.
One of the things that also occurred to me is that when that noxious fume comes, remember how the doctor like hides himself in his room,
Right.
and he's like growing paranoid, and according to like Chad Lewis, maybe saved the last bullet for his own fucking dome piece.
Right.
Maybe there is something in it, kind of reminiscent of what the Batman villain Scarecrow had, like something in that fume.
With the fucking fear, the
Talk
fucking
about
fear
a defense
gas.
mechanism. It doesn't just scare you away because it stinks.
Right.
It makes you terrified. That might be the single greatest biological defense mechanism ever. If you don't want to fight something, you don't want to eat something, you just want it to leave you alone and not hurt you, and you can squirt something that makes it assume you are the most nefarious shit in the world, that is fucking awesome.
It's a crazy skunk power right there.
It really is. It's like super skunkification.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, well...
And we can't ignore the old friend ultra-terrestrials either.
No, we're back to the ultra-terrestrials,
well, how can you?
Really?
Something that's absurd.
Every time I mention the alleged moon or the fucking hollow earth, everyone's like, "Where's the fucking dickhead?"
Listen, I'm not
but
saying
you say
I believe in it.
ultra-terrestrial and you're a fucking savior? That's bullshit. I'm saying hollow moon, alleged earth, and we're the hollow sun we're going to get to eventually.
You're officially drunk enough to kill.
All right, fine.
That's fair. But that having been said, you can't at least put that on the table.
No, you have to.
Listen, you can't take the devil off the table, and you can often take the ultra-terrestrial off the table, but it sits on the edge and
maybe
winks
it
at
is.
you.
Maybe it is.
And
just
I'm not saying I think it is, but something that's weird for its own sake and terrifies people.
All right.
Other people thought extraterrestrial, though there's no real indication of that.
There's no UFO or anything.
My thought, like I say, is either it's something intelligent, and was just trying to have like a moment, or it was just trying to escape in the mine. I don't think it lived in the mine. I don't think, I know some birds live underground like burrowing owls, but I don't think this thing lives in the caverns.
But it showed up with a smaller version of itself.
Yeah, but...
which would indicate a nest or nesting area.
And you can nest in a mine, but it doesn't mean that's your natural fucking habitat,
but where
the bowels of the earth.
In the mine. The hollow earth.
Well, you're assuming it's an offspring.
Yeah, it could have been
a mate.
Like I said, it could have been its
What if it was like the king and he brought it up and it's like, don't fuck with us. This guy's gonna fucking.
Oh, because the tiny one's
just the tiny one's the worst, 10 times worse than.
All right,
the Wolverine principle.
Yeah.
The honey badger principle.
Wolverine principle.
You're just assuming it's a kid because it's
tiny, deadly.
May I say the Puck principle?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't that badass.
When the grizzly produces the Wolverine, you
exactly,
understand it's odd.
All right,
that's what I'm saying.
Cool. All right, so
I don't know. I doubt alien. I'm not sure about cryptid. I don't even know if it's intelligent. I don't know what the fuck is going on, to be honest. But it is magnificent.
My take on this is going to be an unknown creature from the hollow earth, because the miners done.
But which hollow earth
the
do you
crust.
believe in? The reptoid hollow earth? The fucking Ray Palmer hollow earth? The fucking Daros and Noble Robot one?
Admiral Byrd. Daros.
Oh, so
and reptoids.
don't conflate shit. So you mean like dinosaurs, holes in the poles where there's sun and giant Vikings that live peaceably with people?
Didn't Admiral Byrd though see the detrimental robots?
I know. I can't swear he didn't, but I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Okay, all right.
I think you're taking a lot of Hollow Earth lore and fucking doing a mashup.
But you know what though? That's what you do.
Until we do the proper one.
And then I'm wrong, but you make it work for yourself.
That's so much. That's a 5-parter.
All right, I'm saying Hollow Earth. Christopher, you're going to say...
possible turkey with a glowworm.
All right, perfect. Turkey with a glowworm. I like it.
Are glowworms real? I thought they were just 80s toys.
I don't know.
They went back.
Again, we don't know what the fuck's below Pennsylvania.
You said a glowworm. You're like, is glowworm real? I thought it was just a toy.
Yeah,
do you remember those inchy little fuckers?
I
do. All my sisters had the glowworm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, I know what you do with it. Once you get it, it's like, what the fuck do you do with it?
It glows.
It's kind of like Stretch Armstrong. I couldn't wait to get it. I'm like, three seconds later, I'm like, the fuck? What am I doing?
I'm pretty sure glowworms are a thing, but don't quote me on it. So, Robert, are you going to say? Are you going to jump into my Hollow Earth boat? What are you going to do?
No.
You're going to sail it? You fucker.
Nope.
I knew it. You can't agree with me, can you?
I often do.
You don't.
Not really often, but sometimes I do.
Never.
No.
Hey.
Cinematically, it's a gargoyle at best.
Yeah. Radon Chong.
I mean, that's the deal.
Oh my God! Don't tell my secret.
Don't tell my secret. You know.
Banging a demon.
Yeah.
All right.
It happens. Life choices. Make them.
It's fucking awesome. It's
awesome.
I think, you know what? I'm going to go black magic. Because fucking why not?
What?
Why not? You know why? Because I want to assume this thing is bulletproof. I want to assume, and not even black magic necessarily because it has evil intent, because this thing was nothing but like cordial.
Sure.
It's like, I'm just fucking hanging out in your town.
Do
you know
shit.
what? You don't even have street lights. It's 1903. I'm lighting this shit up for you.
Yeah,
UG
really.
fucking Raymondsville or whatever
fucking
the fucking people are.
A.C. Cooper, whatever your name was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fucking do you guys a solid.
Fucking C.C. Carnicelli.
Fuck you. Fuck you all. Fuck you, Van Meter. Here's my kid. Oh, and that's what happened. So I think Van Meter was trying to give fucking Van Meter of the fucking ups of electricity and a little fucking friendly light in the night, just saying, hey man, throw out some birdseed, whatever.
Right.
I'm not hurting anybody, but you had to be dicks. Here's my kid. We could have had multiple generations of night lights. fuck you.
All right, let's put this call out there because I know that we have some listeners in the area. So if you are a listener from and or around the Van Meter area, hit us up. Let us know what is happening with this local legend because maybe there's some new shit.
And they have a festival every year, too. I don't think it's nearly as big as Mothman or anything like that, but it's still awesome that they do.
I'll go do it.
Sure.
But
it's probably like a really cool block party.
In relation to Pennsylvania, where's Iowa?
75 miles away.
West.
Okay.
To the...
Is it?
South-north of it.
I hope.
It's definitely in the mid-fucking west. I mean, we know that.
I mean, we are the farthest east that you can get, but whatever.
Listen, we are
anyway
geographically challenged. We've proven that.
We are geographically dumb.
But I know goddamn well. It's not like super Midwest. It's like central Midwest. We got buddies that live there. I got peeps that live there.
All right, well, fucking hook us up with some Iowa knowledge. There you have it. Thank you so very much for joining us for episode 100.
Can you fucking believe it?
Yeah,
believe it.
You know what I'm really proud of us? We stayed sober for this one.
No, we didn't.
No, we did
fucking
not.
Beyond shit face.
No, I did.
No, Chris is sober. We're hammered.
Yeah, bless his heart. Well, Chris is saving his sweet, sweet honeysuckle voice for our audience, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Bless your heart.
That's right.
So thank you all for joining us. Again, episode 100.
Really cool, though.
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
awesome.
Honestly,
thank you,
thank
so
you
very
guys.
much.
It has been one of the best, I don't know, like year and a half ever.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving a fuck. Thank you for indulging us in our wild and weird fucking subroutes.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, thanks for making this worth it because
Totally.
It's something I guess we're going to do anyway.
Our
but
listeners
fucking, it's great
are
that
the
you give a fuck.
Yeah, our listeners are the fucking best.
They're
They're so cool.
Hands down, the coolest
Totally.
motherfuckers ever.
Totally. So yes, thank you all so very much. patreon.com/Kryptonaut Podcast. You can contribute to that if you would like. $1 gets you a shout out. $5 gets you a shout out and some bonus audio.
Yeah. At least 2 a month.
Sometimes more. Social medias, the Instas, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Kryptonaut Podcast fan page by Robert Thompson.
Yeah.
Runs that shit for us. Fucking thank you so much, dude. He's the fucking best.
You guys know I don't go online, but very rarely.
I fucking despise Facebook and all it stands for, but I goddamn love the fan
group.
group.
When I do
it's
get
so much
online,
fun.
I just hammer through all of that stuff.
It's so much fun. It's
I
good.
even like fucking, you know, even though I don't belong to any of it, I go through Instagram and Twitter, and I secretly
You stalk the Instagram.
Is
I
it
know.
called stalking?
Yeah, it's called stalking. You stalk our Instas.
Because I'm not going to get these fucking apps.
Instas.
I can't deal with this shit.
All right, well.
But I read it, and I love you guys for it.
Thank you all so very much for the support. We appreciate it. Here's to 100 and or so more. And
yeah, absolutely.
we will be talking to you soon.
Let's keep it fucking weird. Let's keep it ultra terrestrial.
Why do we drink so much? Why do
because
you
we
and
love
I
to drink
so much?
Well, Chris does drink when he's not.
But
on
I have
death's
to. I have to
door.
stop drinking at some
No.
point. I think I might.
Oh, well, you're a dad.
I know.
Why
I
can't
have
you
a-
just drink less?
Because it's not how I operate as a person or a
I
human.
haven't had a sip for like 3 weeks.
No, same here. Okay, that's a lie.
Did
I
you
didn't
drink all the time?
I know I do. Yeah, no, it's
That's
a
the
problem. I
thing.
know.
I'm
I
not
have I don't have a
super
problem.
consistent drinker.
I have a habit.
I am definitely a partier. But then the rest of the week, I'm just doing my shit, taking care of my mom, writing my stories, taking care of my life. But then when I get together with my buddies, I am fucking fit-shazed half the time.
I'm just playing Mortal Kombat by myself, crushing beers.
Yeah, but are you crushing beers or sipping
That's
beers?
what I'm saying. Like, why, at your age, why do you have to drink 36 Jennies?
Look,
why can't you just drink like 3 really good beers? It'll get you a nice little buzz. You'll be happy.
Because I like dirt beer. I love dirt beer.
Yeah, but then you drink 36 and you shit your pants and your gut.
Shitting your pants is part of the glory of Jenny.
And then you're like, oh, I drink too much. Well, you don't just drink beer.
I know. Because I drink like an asshole.
You know what?
It's fine.
You know how we know the sober one is? The scolding.
Oh,
that's how it happens.
Mark drinks too much. There you have it. And we're talking to you soon.
It was like a fucking slee stack.
Oh,
you just
Jesus.
That was
terrible.
my maybe
Were
I
you guys
maybe
scared
this
of
is
slee
that.
stacks when you were young?
Yeah,
those
I'm scared of
fucking
Chris.
slow ass
Yeah.
corn,
Yeah.
useless,
Fucking
fucks
terrible.
ruined me.
They did, but
I was convinced that they could catch and they could have caught Usain Bolt with their fucking 2-inch per fucking hour gait.
Yeah, because
I
they're
know,
fucking
but
terrible.
that was a saving grace because they always were slow.
They were so slow. Totally. And they made it, extraneous
they walk like
arm
that.
movements. And they had those stupid like little hoof toes.
Yeah, except fucking Hieronymus or whatever his name
Oh,
was.
yeah, the one that was with the Christian, who's always trying to help him.
He wore the robes and he's like, hello.
Hello,
How
Here's
are you
my
today?
crystal of comeuppance.
Oh,
Yes.
Enjoy. See the world you've lost.
Thank y'all so very much. Here, we'll talk to you soon.
Slee Stacks next week. Go. This is what's happening. I'm being mocked by my friends for almost dying.
Okay, listen.
Is there steroids in the oils?
Dude, these essential oils
Are you raging
have
right
kept
now?
me.
Okay, but you're not dead.
I was at death's door.
This is our
Knocking
might
on
be.
heaven's door.
Oh, were you really?
Double pneumonia.
But you're
About to die.
but you're alive.
I was heading into quadruple pneumonia. I was going to skip triple altogether.
So double pneumonia, and your sister just drenches you in
my God, it
essential
smells
oils.
awful.
No, that was today. Today
Oh,
she's like, you're going to hang out with your dirtbag friends and drink too much, right? And I'm like, yeah, but they're not dirtbags. But I didn't deny I was going to. No, she never said that. She loves you guys. She said, you're going to hang out with your buddies and drink. I said, well, yeah, I haven't partied in like fucking 3 weeks. I've been dying. She said, here, this will keep you safe. So I didn't know. Now, she's not like a spiritualist. I didn't know if she was going to like throw an incantation at me or what, because usually she's just a pretty down-to-earth girl. But then she starts splashing some essential oils on my shit. And I'm like, okay. She's like, rub your wrists together. I'm like, all right. She's like, this is what she said. It's thieves. I'm like, this means nothing to
Like
me.
Sea of
She's
Thieves?
like, it will do it. And I'm like, all right.
It will do
Then
it.
will do it. So now I'm safe, and now,
that on the
now
bottle?
I'm going to drink with my friends for the first time in weeks and not be dead and talk about monsters
All
because
right.
I loved it.
Well, thank you for being here, Robert. I'm glad that you
All right,
dodged
well.
death.
Barely.
Chris also dodged to death as well.
No, I'm pretty sure I died.
No, he's
2
still
weeks ago.
dying.
Chris,
Yeah,
Chris, I think
I'm
he
dead.
died.
Chris is like slowly dying, but I think he's going to survive, but he's still dying.
All right,
I don't
well.
think we've gotten to the happy ending yet with
No,
Chris.
no.
But I do think there's going to be a happy ending. You know why?
Yeah.
I'm an optimist, and I'm wearing thieves.
And you're covered in
I
it.
fucking
know.
reek like a fucking head shop.
You do kind of stink.
Oh,
yeah,
I
a
hate
little
it.
bit. It's okay though. It's not terrible. It's
Dude,
just
I
like
scrubbed it with Dawn. I scrubbed it with fucking
dude.
Dial.
Well, thankfully your soul's protected from double
Dial.
pneumonia.
True.
Yeah, your soul's
But
protected.
the diabolical forces will not get into my lungs.
No, but we made it, boys. This officially is episode 100.
Holy shit balls.
And I just cracked a nice fresh White Claw.
I can't believe this is happening.
Well, this is I brought some for everyone because I don't think we've tried them yet. So
No,
why not,
I didn't
you know.
Yeah, no, I
No.
just did. This was fucking terrible.
It's mango
No,
flavor.
this sucks.
And I was
This
saying,
is the worst.
hard seltzer is kind of like saying razor cotton.
It
It's
tastes like an
two
Alka-Seltzer,
contradictions.
like a mango Alka-Seltzer.
Oh, no. All right, here I go.
No, but it does. Like, it does.
This is the
No,
only
I
way.
thought it was going to be like a harmless bubble with a little mango. That's a horrible
it's gross.
sulfur aftertaste.
Yeah.
That's garbage.
Yeah, this is how we kick off episode 100.
Perfect.
This is how we do it with
Holy
White Claws.
shit.
Okay.
My wife
I'm gonna,
loves this shit. I don't
Bless
know.
her heart.
I don't know why. It's fucking gnarly. But
I'm going in for the second.
yeah.
No, it's really bad, though.
No, it's really not good.
Oh, no. Do you guys taste the fart in the top of your
Yeah.
mouth?
Yeah,
I take
100%.
the fart
Like
mouth,
I'm
yeah.
drinking,
It's
and
gross.
as it goes down, it's like, okay, this is an inoffensive seltzer. But when
No.
the back of it goes, the backwash goes by, it's like a sulfur fart rising in through your sinuses the back way.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's fucking People buy this is a thing.
yeah, people love this shit.
Oh, I need a Jenny.
Yeah, no, I don't know why.
All right.
Stick
I'm
with,
sorry.
stick with the Smirnoff Ices.
Stick with
They're
There's
better.
so many tasty goddamn drinks these
The
days.
butteritas there, the margarita bud little things. They're 8%.
Really?
Those little bud.
Wow.
Yeah, they are.
Potent. I'm saying 8%
Yeah, no,
for a small beverage is potent.
How do we
You
start
looked at me like that was a bizarre thing to say.
How do we start the Kryptonite podcast?
I know this could just be an outtake.
Yeah,
Who gives
this
a
can
fuck?
just be in the end. But how the fuck do we even start the podcast?
How do we start the pod? It's been 2 weeks.
What did we
3
say?
weeks technically.
Okay, I remember. All right, let's let Chris stretch. Hold on.
I'm not sure. I can't move right now.
You all right, man?
No, my leg's been fucking acting.
Oh shit. This was going to be the 100th podcast.
All right. This is what we're going to do from here.
Dude, you're like Blair Witch standing in the corner, dude.
Why are you Blair Witching us?
Dude, you're fucking scaring Mark.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I cannot walk on
Chris,
this leg.
Chris.
You don't have to walk to pod.